Hey, look at that. We got a follower and we hadn't even said anything yet.
It's a nice way to start the stream.
Yeah, thank you, Frozen Brush. I got that one. I can pronounce it.
Hi, and welcome to the stream. I'm Julie, and this is Justin, and we're coming to you live from a dumpster fire that is the US.
Specifically Los Angeles.
No. We're cool. LA's cool.
So there's this app in the US. I don't know if it's overseas yet, but it's called Citizen. And it's basically, they take all of the data from police scanners and they put it in like a Twitter type interface with a map. So you can see all the stuff that's like, crime and stuff that's happening around you for safety. And as much as Julie wants to say LA is cool, in the last 3 days, let's see, a woman was jumped, a guy was beating people with a stick, 3 different knife attacks, gunshots were fired, 2 house structure fires, and that's about all I can remember off the top of my head. That's not even counting coronavirus cases. So LA has gotten weird. People just decide, I'm done with quarantine and my mental health isn't great, so I'm just going to pick up the biggest object I can find, whatever it might be, a golf club or a branch or a 2x4, and I'm going to walk down the street and try to hit people with it. According to Citizen, at least. It is whack.
It's a beautiful place to live.
The Buck, where are you from? Are you in America?
Anyways, hi. Hello.
Wow, in Spain there was...
Anna's, yeah!
I mean, don't get me wrong. There's mental health problems and weird people, separately or combined, everywhere. It's just with our current situation and leadership and political climate in America, all of those crazy people are like, "Hey, guess what? I'm normal," and they just go out shouting at the void.
So, Frozen Brush. Yeah, I was gonna ask, but did that guy live? Did they apprehend him without killing him? They had to clip the guy with the police van against another car, so I'll have to look for that, because I enjoy the fact that he had some wonderful swords he could press down.
And in America, they would have just shot him. That's an easy way to stop crime. You just shoot him.
Meanwhile, we had neo-Nazis trying to storm our parliament building yesterday in Berlin. Idiots, different kinds across the globe.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
And
in Sweden, they had something happen with some group burned the Quran and did some other shit.
I had a dream about Nazis last night because I was telling Julie a story, and I'll tell you guys real quick.
You had a what?
A dream about Nazis. Yeah, so in my hometown of Indiana, the state, my home state of Indiana, there was a Mexican bar, of all places, where the Nazis like to hang out, the neo-Nazis. And we were just there chilling, having drinks, me and my friend Ian. Ian's one of the best dudes I know, but just for mental picture, he's got total red hair, natural red hair. He's got really big teeth.
He does.
Beautiful teeth, but they're big glasses. And he's a little shorter than me, right? And we're sitting there, but he was in the army. He works out all the time.
I've never seen him wear glasses either.
I think
must have been a different...
He's been wearing contacts the last couple of years.
Different
so Ian was sitting there, and we're drinking beers, and he's had more than me because I'm not a heavy drinker. And some dudes walk by, and he just looks up at them, and he goes, "Hey, are you guys fucking Nazis?" And I just looked down, and I was like, oh no. And they look, and they're like, "Yeah, bro, what of it?" And they stare at him. There's 2 of them. And there's a whole group of them across the room. And he just stares them in the face. He goes, "I fucking hate Nazis." And I just was like, oh great, I am not a fighter. I mean, look at me. I'm gonna die. And they stared for what had to be 30 seconds. And then the 2 of them just go, "Hey bro, we don't want any trouble." And walked back to their group, and that was it. And I paid our tab and got out of there. That was a fun evening. Thank you, Ian, if you ever see this video.
Hey man, you did the right thing.
I know, standing up to Nazis, but just warn me first. So I can, run or make sure my shoes are tight.
With you, they might not be, actually. His shoes are always tied. It's the weirdest thing.
Well, that was a dream, but that was a true story as well. So I told the story yesterday and then dreamed it again. It was fun.
Yeah, because you confused me when you're like, "Oh, I had a dream," and then I was like, "No, that happened in real life. I've heard this story before."
Yeah. I dreamed it because of the...
You relived it.
Yeah, I relived it
in
last
your
night.
sleep. Okay.
Where's dog?
He's right behind you. He's sitting directly behind you. Oh my god.
Oh boy. All right, well, here we are. Welcome to Sunday. Another week.
I put contacts in, you guys.
Another week has gone by. Another update is due tomorrow.
Oh, you're making that face. Are you sad about something? Did you not get to something?
There's just always
I know that face.
more work.
All right,
You
well,
guys,
why don't
you guys are
did.
you guys are doing a great job at reporting bugs. It's just very rarely do I get to like the big projects I want to get to because I'm always like trying to clean up the stuff that got reported first. To be fair, like every week, less and less get reported, but I'm hoping that like soon there's very few reported and it's just all new stuff, which is great. But I always make time to do a little bit of new stuff. Oh yeah, we can start with that. So I've been on a campaign for many months to try to get Liquid Death to notice me, since I always wear their hat and their water, and I'm always talking about how amazing it is to drink.
He's really persistent.
Yeah. So I've tweeted at them a couple times, and a friend of a friend is their investor. I've tweeted at him, and then my friend Hunter, he showed up, and he works in marketing and PR, so he reached out to them and was like, "Hey, you should check out this streamer. He's really repping your brand." I don't actually know what he said, but I'm assuming it was something like that. And on Friday, I got a DM from them that said, "Thanks for murdering your thirst on stream, and that I should email them, and we can talk about working together." And I was like, it's finally happening, guys. Liquid Death is noticing us. So that is exciting. I am excited. Hunter does get shit done, and I'm very excited that he will be helping us with some of our copy editing. So that'll be swell. He's going to help get the card text smaller and more consistent so that it doesn't scroll off the bottom of the cards and people don't complain as much.
McCooey, what up?
Oh.
One of my favorite parts about watching the Tuesday, Thursday streams is just listening to Justin trying to figure out how to pronounce usernames.
McCooey.
Yeah, yeah, that came so naturally to you.
Oh boy.
Now, I gotta admit, I didn't realize it either. But then I was like, oh yeah, okay. Ratatouille. I know that. I know this.
Oh. So... I don't remember what I was going to say. So some of you guys probably haven't seen buttons. I got lots of buttons. Some of you guys probably haven't seen what's going on the stream. Most of you probably have, but so this is a completely rewritten deck builder. I know it looks the same, but there are some subtle differences. Like there's a button here that says get new decks. Doesn't do anything yet, but it will. You'll be able to click that button and a window will slide in and it'll show you a list of decks that other players have recommended, and you can click on it and add it to your account immediately. As well as you'll be able to go into your decks and mark them as public, and other people can copy your decks if you think they're really good and you want to share them. But you can see some small changes in the filter. For example, you can type here and search by keywords. So I type Slayer and it'll show me every card that has the word Slayer in it, which is a small improvement. I'll continue to make improvements to that. Whoops. Also, the filters here are a little different. Somebody in stream suggested we separate these. So obtained cards and unobtained cards are separated now. So if you turn them all off, there are no cards visible. If you turn on unobtained, it's only cards that you don't have. And if you turn on obtained, it'll include them as well. So it's pretty self-explanatory. It's a little different though, but it does allow you to have a little more power if you just want to see cards that aren't in yet. Also, we have two variants here. So you can say only show retro variants if you want to see the retro variant cards. And you can say only show full art variants, which actually only is not the right word, I don't think, but I'll have to reword that a little bit. But you can see the full art versions of cards as well as we add them. We'll be adding more over time. So there's a little bit more power inside the filter, and it's a little cleaned up, so we'll be able to add more stuff, which is nice. Also, if you go into a deck, this is what I'm working on right now, is getting everything right for the card list so that we can have little plus and minus buttons next to the cards here to make it a lot easier to quickly add and remove cards. But there is also... shit. Hang on. I screwed something up. Well, like I said, this isn't done yet.
You broke something?
I did. I need a deck that doesn't have... Yeah. I don't have any decks that aren't done yet. And it's not... I can't build a deck in there yet, so... Let me load scene. I'm gonna get back there. Yeah, so I couldn't see this because I haven't finished the top part. Oh, you guys can't see that either. Hang on. Whoops. There we go. So there's a new button here. There'll also be the delete button. I haven't added it back yet. But there's a new button here called Deck Details, which is important. So you'll be able to click this button, and a new window will open. It's just black right now. And there will be multiple options in here. For example, there'll be an export button, so you can export your deck to your computer hard drive if you want to back it up. And what you'll be able to do is put it on your hard drive and erase it from your game if you want. So if you want to save it for later...
We're not entertained. 7.
What happened?
It just said it's an empty box.
Oh. You have to use your imagination. So
there will be information on that empty.
You'll be able to export your deck to your hard drive and erase it, and then later you'll be able to import it back in if you want to try it again. Also, that's where we'll put your deck statistics. So we'll be able to show you the revisions of your deck that I've been talking about that we track. So every time you change a deck, it'll save a new revision and save stats. So you'll be able to say like, all right, when I had 15 warriors, I had a 60% win rate. But when I had 16 warriors, I had an 80% win rate. But when I went to 17 warriors, I had a 20% win rate. So then you can just go back to the 16 warrior version that had the best win rate and click restore, and it will make a new deck or restore that deck of the one that had the best stats. So you'll be able to make tweaks, and then if it's a bad tweak, you can revert back to the previous one just with one button, as well as seeing some charts and graphs eventually, like your win streaks and your win rates. I'll be able to put in like a graph format, which will be really cool. And that's also where statistics will live on the deck itself, like the average warrior cost, how many warriors you have, how many fake cards you have, stuff like that will all be put into that. And it will look similar to the menu. Over time, it'll grow and it'll have like options. Like you might have an import-export button, a stats button, a revisions button, that kind of thing. And we're going to give you as much info as we can for your deck. So imagine all of that data in your hand for deck building, plus the ability to drag and drop a little quicker, speeding things up, and the Get New Decks button, so that you can come in here and you can download decks that other people have created. And what I hope to do is track deck archetypes. I'm not good at big data, but I'm going to make a rough stab at it. So let's say Doom Guy makes a control deck, and he publishes it as a public deck. So you come in here and you steal his deck and use it. Even if you make changes to it, I'd like to be able to track that as a control deck so that I can see in the future control decks do really well versus like Horde Warrior decks versus whatever other strategies people are trying. So I think we can do some cool stuff that way over time at least.
Empty boxes are the best because cats sit in them.
Dota says the new profile stuff is in the development Secret Cal channel if you want to show it on stream. Not this time. I try not to open too much Discord stuff on stream, but he's working on improving this interface. It might make it into this stream, but what we want to do is get rid of into this update. We want to get rid of this stuff on the right a little bit. It's not really necessary. And make this more of a browser view so you guys can see not only avatars you have, but where you got them, and also avatars you don't have that are available, and it'll tell you how to get them. So if there's something that you really want to look for, you'll know where to look to get it, which should help you figure out, more of what you want to do in the game as we add more quests and missions and mission cards and abilities and stuff. So.
The guy on the bottom looks like Nemesis from Resident Evil.
Which guy on the bottom?
That guy?
The mummy guy?
That death is really cool.
Yeah, that one's one of my favorites.
That skeleton's actually pretty badass too.
Steve would have to remind me. I don't remember which avatars we gave away last Halloween. We have a bunch of them. I know
we definitely gave away. I feel like Frankenstein's monster was a part of it.
No, I think it was just the Hunchback and the zombie. These two.
I know we used that guy with the eyeball falling out for the marketing materials.
Yeah.
I remember that because Facebook would not let us run an ad because his eyeball was coming out of his face.
I really like the Grim Reaper guy, and I really like the Satan whatever dude happening here. So we'll probably bring those back for Halloween this year, which will be fun.
Scroll to the top. Yeah, that is
that's Mutant Chronicles art. It's from there's a picture of Mitch Hunter and Crenshaw standing in front of a statue, and they're like talking to each other. That's from Mutant Chronicles, but we added the Santa hat.
Obviously, definitely did. Yeah.
Speaking of Mobius, the living vampire, isn't Jared Leto playing him in a movie? And what happened to that? I haven't heard about it in what feels like an eternity. Is that movie still happening? I don't even know. But anyways, the new deck builder is coming in with all the new features and the variant cards and all that stuff. And the code is being done in a way that we'll be able to reuse it, like I always say, so that we can finally populate lore and mission cards. So we can start giving those out regularly, which will be fun.
Oh, that was a cat foot. Nobody wants to be on camera, though. We have so many animals in this house. It's just like entertainment, though. I mean, what else are we gonna do? We're here all the time.
Uh-oh.
This scene has double chat. Yeah, somebody said that earlier.
What's double chat?
I don't know.
Oh, weird. Look at that.
Oh, okay. That's where the double chat is. Knew it was happening somewhere.
I have 2 chat boxes. You're right. What is going on there?
Sony will not give up Spider-Man. They're like, we just have to keep rebooting it every couple of years so we can keep making money.
Yeah, I must have been playing with my chat box and messed something up. I should be better now, though.
How dare you, Justin?
So yeah,
Just do.
Whoops. I smacked the mouse and clicked the button.
Whoops.
Yeah. Got to be careful doing it live. All right, Julie, you're up.
I'm up. I have nothing. I have nothing, really.
Go on.
I don't know. That's it. What else is going on? Doomtroopering? Just trying to get the... I think he's just trying to get the cat. He's staring at me. The cat is staring at me. He's still not in frame, bro. What are you doing? I'm just little. Oh, nope, no pets. Okay, got it.
Yeah, this cat doesn't show his face very often, and he hates cameras, but here he is.
And people that aren't me and him.
So yesterday I spent, like 4.5 hours trying to figure out a bug that has been reported, kind of.
Kind of.
Yeah, so like you guys will come on stream and you'll be angry and you'll report something, and I'll be like, I don't know what that means. Do you have steps to reproduce? And then you're just like gone. Don't tell me anymore. But it's happened enough that I'm like, okay, something's wrong. So I ended up discovering what was happening. It's like 5 bugs in one. So if I play a card and there's an interrupt phase and you have a chance to react, and then somebody retreats during the interrupt phase while that little pop-up is on the screen, the win screen will half load. It'll say you retreated sometimes, and you can go back to the main menu, and that's fine. But you didn't actually retreat. because Invader had it set up where you couldn't retreat during interrupts, which I fixed, and then I found out why it broke a bunch of other stuff, which I had to fix. So you weren't actually quitting the game, so the game kept going, but you thought you retreated. And you did send a retreat to the server, which would print in the logs that you retreated, but it didn't actually do the retreat action in the game, if that makes sense. So when I was reading the logs, I'd be like, well, you retreated. And you'd be like, no, I didn't. Or like, whatever. There'd be discrepancies. So the person who wanted to retreat retreats, but it doesn't actually retreat. Then you would sit there and you wouldn't know what was happening because for some reason you didn't get the notification telling you he retreated. And you would sit there waiting and waiting and waiting, and you would time out. And the game would take that as a forfeit. So it would send another retreat to the server from you, not the guy who actually retreated, because you forfeited without even knowing you forfeited, which would switch the order of the winner or loser on the server, because since the first guy didn't really fully retreat, the game is still accepting actions. So since you retreated but didn't know you retreated, it would accept it and you'd be the loser.
Fun.
I don't know if any of that was followable, but basically your opponent retreats and then you get a loss and you don't know why. That was a really annoying thing to track down. I still have to fix why you don't see the disconnect banner. I'm going to fix that today, but now you can retreat during interrupts. You can still get your rewards. Freezes the game. Nobody can steal the win, basically. I don't think anybody was exploiting that. I think it was an accident from everybody. I think people were rage quitting during interrupts because you played Reversal of Fortune or Fool's Gold on them, but it should be a lot better now. And it's one of those bugs that I spent all this time on, and none of you are going to care because none of you are going to notice. But
it's thankless work, Justin.
But that's a good thing because not noticing it means you're getting your wins where you expect wins and you're getting your losses where you expect losses. So feel free to hit me up on Discord if anyone has like technical questions on it of why things went the way they were. I won't go into too much detail. But then I was like, cool, I spent 4 hours on this and I feel good. I solved a core problem with Doomtrooper. Let me see if I can solve another one really quick. I mean, I've already wasted the whole day. So I dove into figuring out why ability interrupts weren't working. They had this really weird interrupt inconsistency that I thought was a bug in the interrupt system. And that took like another 4 or 5 hours. But I was able to, well, it took like an hour to solve, which exposed another bug, which exposed another bug, which exposed another bug. And basically, the bugs I was seeing every single time were I would play a card or do an action, and the resulting stuff that I would see on the board or that the errors would tell me would not be correct. And if you played a lot of games, you've probably seen bugs like that where you're like, it tells me I can't do this thing, but my guy is like, it tells me I can't be in cover, but I'm not in cover, or it tells me I can't have this attachment, but I can, or something freezes up and like the menu is confusing. So what I was seeing was I would give a guy an attachment and then the game wouldn't know that he has the attachment. And I was like, well, that's really weird. Like, but then next turn he would know that he has it again. It was like everything was delayed, but it was only under certain circumstances. It didn't happen all the time. So I found some weird code that somebody else, that shall remain nameless this time, wrote that I don't understand at all. And it was causing weird stuff with ability interrupts. So I had to rewrite all of that, which then broke all of my code tests. I had to rewrite all of that. But basically, I ended up in a world where I think the game state should be more consistent. It shouldn't have any weird things that happen out of sync. It'll probably cause fix some of the weird bugs that people find that I can't explain. And it allows me to launch ability interrupts, which is a pretty big deal because I've been blocked on launching those for a while. I'm trying to see if I can find my list.
We have to watch the new Bill and Ted movie. We will, though. We will get to it.
Yeah. So if you look at dog.
Sleepy.
So if you look at ability interrupts here, so I added Young Guard. and he will go live tomorrow at least. He's basically a miscommunication that can be activated as an ability during an interrupt phase. But there are 12 other cards that can be added. And we talked about this before, I think. Personal Anti-Personal Minds is a good one. Smokescreen, Falcon of the Pilgrims, Kanji's Lucky Sense. There's a lot of really good, like, fun cards here. And I want to change some other ones. Some other cards, hi Michael, that kind of suck right now. We could add ability interrupts to them to make them more unique. So that's a whole new tool chest that as developers and game designers we have access to. And if you don't know what I mean by ability interrupts, it's when you're playing and somebody plays like a fake card and you get that window where you can drag a card from your hand, there's a temporary UI on the side that any guy in your squad or support card you can click that has an ability interrupt. You can click and activate them during that interrupt phase, like you would drag a card. But instead of playing a card from your hand, you're activating an ability from your squad. And Young Guard is the first one. Now, just to warn, early access, I'm probably going to get a bad review on this. The UI looks horrible. It very clearly says temporary at the top, so please don't judge me too harshly. It'll get prettier later, but right now I'm just trying to get it to work and get cards tested so that we can find bugs.
All right then.
Julie.
Oh my god! You just like hand it off to me like I.
Sin says the chain of finding new bugs is terrible. Like, where do you decide to call it a day? So what makes me really good at my job or really bad at being a husband is that I can't call it a day. Like if I'm completely stumped, I can call it a day. But if I have just like a little breadcrumb to follow to solve the problem, I literally cannot stop.
Yesterday was Saturday. I think I saw you for like an hour.
Yeah, I literally cannot stop until I solve it, because if I'm sitting out there trying to eat dinner, I won't be able to watch TV or anything because my brain will just be like, well, what about if you try this? So I had to eat at my desk and just finish it, but I ended up getting through it and checking all the code in. So.
That's okay.
Yeah. Well, if you acknowledge my dedication and you are a person who has played Doomtrooper multiple times and you see maybe how bad it was during the alpha versus how kind of okay it is now, I urge you to go on Steam and post a positive review for me. As of this morning, we have shifted down to mostly positive because somebody posted a review this morning that just said negative, thumbs down, one word, insane.
See that?
That's it. Nothing I can work off of, nothing I can fix. He just said insane, thumbs down, and it tanked our rating. So if you are a fan, I mean, I don't want you to lie, of course, but if you are a fan or you've seen the progress, I just noticed Zorg said, good evening, guys up north. Sorry I missed that. Zorg, hello, sir, or madam, or non-binary. Yeah, I don't want anybody to lie, but if you have seen the progress and you acknowledge...
says insane.
You acknowledge my dedication to being here working on the stuff, then please go and post. Apparently Steam allows one-word reviews, so if you just want to go and type awesome, thumbs up, and press submit, hey, you do you. But I encourage you to write something good that's not a wall of text, but something that describes the progress and your love for the classic game, or how the new game is different from Hearthstone, or like something good that would sell people on wanting to play the game, because, you know, we're going to need to keep getting new eyes on it. And if that review drops below mostly positive, then we're dead in the water.
Damn it.
What?
Because there's 4 now. There's 4 negative reviews on here. That's a bummer.
Yeah. And there's a lot of people I know that really love the game that won't post just because you're not the type of person who posts reviews, and that's fine. But the thing is the people who get really angry, like the ones who wish that the game looked and acted exactly like the classic version
They
did,
get so mad.
they will post negative reviews because of any changes we made to the classic game. And I don't know how to tell them again that I love I love the classic game. I played the classic game. I have a better collection than them. I would put money on it. Like, I have the same love for it. But on the flip side, the classic game failed. And it died. So you don't, in business, take something that died and just re-release it as is. Because if it was good as is, it wouldn't have died in the first place. And I know that's hard to hear if you really love the old game, but if you don't believe me, search deep inside yourself for how many people you have that still play the old game with you in person, and I think you'll understand where I'm coming from.
That's always my biggest thing is when people are like, I'll just keep playing this old game. I'm like, well, cool. I'm glad you have friends that you can actually, sit down and play with, but...
Like, you might have 3 or 4, maybe even 10 friends in your country that still play classic Doomtrooper, and you get together once a year and you do a tournament, and I'm fully supporting that. And if that's something you're doing and you want to reach out to me, I'll send you like some codes and some t-shirts and stuff, and like you can give away new Doomtrooper rewards at your tournament. Like, I want to support the classic game. On the flip side, though, getting together once a year to play a tournament in the Czech Republic is not the same as waking up every morning and playing 2 matches online with your coffee. Like, I am trying to give an ability where you can still play the classic game, but you can also play all day long online against friends and strangers. And I think that is something that I wish all of the old angry fans, whom I still love, would understand.
That was smart, Sin. Check the person's other reviews did the same to other games or too. Thumbs down for Counter-Strike. And just said trash.
Oh. Yeah, there's
a couple thumbs down reviews.
There's one really good thumbs down review. Unfortunately, it was one of our first ones, and I don't know how to tell these people, like, when you come in...
What early access means?
For completing my sandwiches. When you come into an early access game and you post a review that I can translate to, thumbs down, this game is early access. It's like, well... Yeah. It has bugs. It's early access. It's not done. It's early access. It's a little slow. It's early access. Like, I don't know what else I can do if anyone has ideas. Like, when someone comes in and they give it a thumbs down, it's just early access. I mean, I was warned about this. Early access doesn't mean what it should mean. Like, people have ruined the phrase beta. They've ruined the phrase early access. They've ruined the phrase alpha because... like Call of Duty will do an alpha weekend and they've invested $25 million into their game and it's really like a couple weeks from being finished. And they're like, alpha weekend. No, an alpha is gonna crash. Like,
yeah. So we should probably respond to these reviews.
I don't know how.
I know. And I
No, I mean, I
Oh, you mean like literally you can't figure out how to respond?
Maybe the page you're on you're able to, but the pages that I've seen, there's a like button, a dislike button. I think that's it.
Well, I mean, I'm not logged
in.
Yeah,
you're looking at it right now. You can say, yes, it's helpful, no, it's not, it's funny, or you can give it an award.
Logged in Doomtrooper. I'm just logged in as myself. So
right.
I'm pretty sure my account is no way connected to Doomtrooper, so you'd probably have to look from your account. But this is so weird. When I did marketing for dentists, because that's a thing that I did in my life, we responded. We responded to every review, even the positive ones, and especially the negative ones. They're harder to respond to, and we had to sit there, and I would like type out a bunch of stuff, and then like sometimes I would send it to my boss and be like, "Yo, what do you think?" and then respond. I guess I'm really spoiled also by the way like Instagram and Facebook translate everything for you because I'm bummed out at this one. There's this one that's not in English and I have no idea what it says. This one negative one. I'm not even sure what language this is. I'm gonna... I can't even
remember when you turn away, you don't pick up the mic very well.
Okay, I'm sorry.
And when you do that voice, it probably cuts it out with RTX voice.
I don't appreciate RTX cutting out all of my weird voices that I make. I'm very upset about last week and it cutting out every time I did my Mickey Mouse voice. Can we not?
So Sen says, same with indie game and studio. Fall Guys is called an indie game, but Mediatonic has 230 plus employees. Yeah, that's very true. That's been a major downside too, that I would go as far to say that a majority of my game in screenshots looks better than Slay the Spire. And I love Slay the Spire, but like our cards have more detail, our UI has more detail. Like we probably spent more money on art than Slay the Spire. Wait, what?
I'm just responding. Sorry, I pointed. How is that an indie game? Like, yeah.
What was I saying?
We probably spent more money on our art.
Oh, yeah. So when people hear indie game, they think Fall Guys, 230 employees, whatever, right? When they see our game and we say indie, but our menu, like this doesn't look indie to anyone that's given me feedback on it. Like this looks professional. Like we did a really great job on our UI. I don't want to toot my own horn too much, but like when people see this, they just associate us with fake indie a lot of times, and they judge us a little harsher. Like they think that Secret Cow Level is like this big studio, and that Mutant Chronicles is this big brand that has tons of funding and whatever. And it's like, no, we're like operating on a shoestring budget, and we're really doing our best, and we have literally 0 full-time employees. So I don't know how to get through to that.
So when you're logged in, there is a comment box now. I think that's we're just gonna. It's so hard because you never have time to sit and do these like outside. Oh wow, it's both of them. Outside things that are outside of actual development. But I think that we will have to sit down and pen responses to these negative reviews. Nice ones, which I fucking hate doing. I just want to be like, fuck off, but I can't. Like, thanks so much for trying our game.
FYI, the people reading those reviews can watch this stream, so we should not be super rude.
Not calling anybody out specifically. I'm just saying it is really hard to respond to negative reviews, but I guess we really need to because people are reading these. So
yeah, and like negative reviews don't make the person an asshole. Like they're doing what they're supposed to do. They're writing a review of their thoughts on the game. So it's honest, and you can't be mad at somebody for being honest. It's just when you write the word insane and give it a thumbs down, which could potentially tank our marketing and our revenue share, like that's kind of a dick move. And I will call that guy out. Like that I don't even know insane is a bad thing. Like we have an insane faction if we bring in like, you know, Demnoganis and Semi and Muhawi. Like I don't even know what I'm supposed to take from that. And does a player know?
It's definitely not a very constructive.
Yeah. So if you wrote that review, yeah, I'm calling you out. Like that's a shitty thing to do to somebody because you're not helping other players with the word insane, and you're not helping the developer fix anything. So don't do that.
But anyways, if one of you could just leave a positive review, that would be super, super helpful.
Yeah. But the guy who wrote the long review, and he gave a lot of details to why he feels it gives a thumbs down, like I take that as a challenge to fix it, and if maybe even get him to come back someday and change his review. So. And
you know what? On the Dread X2 collection, somebody did leave a negative review, and Ted hopped on and said, "Hey, sorry you feel that way. Can you give me some more information?" And then the person went back and they changed their review. They like wrote more and blah blah blah.
Yeah. So we will respond now that Julie's helped me figure out how to respond. Because Steam is...
Well, I don't understand why this one, comments are disabled for this review. I don't know if that's every time it's a negative review. Again, I'm not logged in as Doomtrooper, so I'm not really sure what that means.
So yeah, I think changing the game to help, you know, either fix it for that person and maybe even get them to change their review, or to make sure the next person who sees it doesn't get frustrated with that kind of thing. I think that's important.
Look, you don't even have to say anything. You can just thumbs down or thumbs up it.
Oh, sure. But
this one says comments are disabled for this review too, and this is a positive one.
I don't know how Steam does this.
You can enable disable comments when you place it. Got it. They shouldn't allow that. You shouldn't be able to like talk shit and not like, you know, have someone respond to you. I guess I get why they do that though. People probably like if it's a game that's really popular, people probably like freak out about it. Thank you for posting a review. Appreciate it.
So one guy posted a positive review and then edited it and commented that we're really good at fixing stuff. So that's nice.
Yeah, I just saw that one. It's really nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought that was cute too because he says my dad showed me the physical card game a couple months ago and gave me some card boxes to have. That's super cute.
So there is a button I just found, write a developer response.
Go, yeah.
In most cases, you should only respond when you need to address a specific issue or clarify misinformation. So
right, they're trying to nicely tell you to not just like talk shit back to people who give you negative reviews.
yeah, so I will be responding to those. I'm debating whether or not I should use more than one word to respond to the insane one, though. I think it might be interesting to just pick like a completely random word like kittens and just develop a response, kittens. I think games should be able to review players. That'd be fun.
Oh, I need you speak this language. I don't know what this is. It's not French. It's
But
not
yeah.
any like.
But yeah, any reviews, if you guys feel the need or the urge to post a positive review and help us get away from the mixed category, that would be amazing because
Literally, that's a way that you can spend no money and actually really help us.
yeah, I'll probably do some like more requests on Discord and stuff to get people to help post the reviews, just because that is super important. You know, you're scrolling through looking for a new game to play and you see mixed or negative, you're not going to play it. If you see positive, you might give it a shot. So yeah, I think it might be Czech as well.
Yes, yeah. I can't tell the difference between like Polish and like Czech. They're just not languages I've personally been exposed to a lot. Usually a lot of other languages I can look at it and go, okay, I know what that is.
So I'm looking at the card list as well. We made a really big card list because I had 3 people plus me wanting to make cards this week, but what's the phrase? Everybody's eyes were bigger than their stomach, I guess. So to my knowledge, nobody has got to any of the cards on the list yet. So I'm going to be working on them today and maybe a couple more tomorrow to make sure that we have some new cards for tomorrow's update. But some of them are, I don't know, interesting. Monetary discrepancies. You play at the beginning of your opponent's turn. I mean, we'll get rid of that. And you pay 6 destiny. Opponent may not play attachment or support cards to the beginning of his or her next turn. So you pay to prevent them from being able to play certain types of cards.
Thanks so much, Seven. That was awesome. That's perfect, though.
Oh.
That's all we need.
We were looking at Bloodlust. So Bloodlust is interesting because if you play the game, you know there's a couple cards like this. It's play during your turn. You may perform 2 tactical actions this turn. It's weird because we have so many other cards that do the same thing, and I don't quite understand the design decisions behind that from Brian. But we were going to change it so that you play it and you choose one of your warriors and he becomes wounded and you gain 1 tactical action, which makes it sure weaker than some other cards because we'll have to revisit them as well, but it also makes it in itself balanced. So you're basically taking a wound to get an extra attack, and it kind of makes sense for Bloodlust, like you're like seeing red, you're full speed ahead.
We are mostly positive now.
We were already mostly positive.
Oh, sorry.
Yesterday we were positive.
Oh, okay. All right. I knew. Sin. That's awesome because that's exactly what we were just saying. The majority of the art style is not matching the original game. Thank God they left the original card in at least. And that the tutorial is rough. We already know that.
Oh, the second part.
Yeah.
No, the second part. The tutorial is rough. We should look at MTG Arena. So what I hear there is, hey, indie game, your early access unfinished tutorial is really bad. You should look at a game that probably spent $40 million to see how to do it. It's like, yes. It's like watching your friend's first film he makes in film school and be like, I don't know. Have you seen Avengers Infinity War? I think you need more of what Avengers Infinity War has. It's like, well, yes!
I'm trying.
I know, but people don't know any better. Like, that guy doesn't know the difference between a real indie game and a real indie game. Like, he probably thinks Magic is indie, and it's probably, for all I know, Magic is still marked as beta.
Yeah. We'll respond in English. He's wearing the shirt.
No, I'm not. There's a filthy casual shirt.
Oh, I meant to say the hat. He's wearing the hat, and he's wearing a filthy casual shirt.
It's a hat, though.
If Bloodlust, if you attack and become wounded, then the wounded warrior may attack again. Could be one of those out of nowhere to win type of cards.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, we could also use abilities like that on some of the other tactical action cards, especially the capital ones. Like, capital needs more restrictions, which I am going to take some time tomorrow to go through capital again and see, like, where I can turn the knob a little bit backwards. Sorry for all the capital lovers out there, but they're running rampant. So we did a little bit last week, and I cranked up some Cybertronic stuff, but capital still needs... It's pretty much every week I'm going to, like, buff a few other factions and then turn down capital a bit. Just to try to... I don't know. Interesting card we're going to add, too, is Club Arcadin, which... I don't think it's going to last in its format, but it gives general and cartel warriors +5 to their stats, which kind of basically cartel guardsmen and the bodyguard become super OP if you play Club Arcadin. So we're toying with some issues there. Maybe we might have to move bodyguard into another faction. It's such like an overused card. But we'll see.
Do you know what a Steam curator is? I'm just curious. I am not a gamer, really. Like, the most gaming that I'm in this world, like our world, but outside of this, like, I've never been a huge gamer. So I only downloaded Steam for this game, like for Doomtrooper, and so I don't know what a lot of this stuff means. Yeah, but 2 Steam curators reviewed the game. I don't know what that means.
I think they're just people who review lots of games. They have, like...
Once you get to... Oh, this person has 38,000 followers. This person.
Yeah, they're like a, like an influencer on Steam.
I didn't realize that's a thing. Ah ha ha. Okay, Sin, yeah. You know all this shit. Steam curators are kind of like review influencers, so you can recommend games and make the list of games you personally recommend, and people can follow those. Got it. Okay. Wow. Okay, so this person that has 38,000 followers recommended our game. He does say the UX here is not great, but he recommended it, so thank God. And then somebody else also has 51 followers, recommended it too.
So looking at some of the other cards we're trying to add, I don't know how to pronounce this word.
Tim?
It's like a religious, like when you pay money to the church.
T-I-T-H-E.
T-I-T-H-E. I don't know if
it's phrased without religion.
God.
So without God, so I don't know the answer.
Basically, play as one action. Opponent must give you 2 destiny for every warrior in his squad. It used to be Brotherhood, but we're dropping that. For every warrior in his squad, if opponent does not have enough destiny, you take it from the common pool. I'm going to reword it a little bit, a little wordy, but you get 2 destiny for every warrior in your opponent's squad, basically.
What are you doing, kitten?
Recollection. You draw next turn. You draw 2 cards from your discard pile instead of drawing from your draw pile. I think I'm going to change it so that it's until the beginning, until your next turn, your next draw phase. Everything you draw comes from your discard pile or something along those lines. I'm going to play around with it. It's an interesting card. We have Unholy Eye, which is another heretic card. It gives them first strike. It's like it gives them like super first strike. The enemy can't retaliate. Minefield immediately ends a fight combat and wounds the attacker. So you play it when you're a defender. And Amnesia. This one was interesting because I'm not entirely sure how to do it, but we were talking about it. Attached to one warrior as one action, this warrior loses all the text written in his text box except for the unique flag. So basically it strips abilities and buffs from the warrior. Hideout, your heretics gain +3 to armor. Play 5 Destiny during combat to return your heretic to your hand. I don't think it will be during combat though, because that's just weird. But maybe. Heretics are another one that are running rampant. Like all these cards, like none of them are final by any means. Like it's just we're adding cards, trying to keep them as is. Obviously, people get pissed when we change stuff, but we kind of add them as is as first, so that we don't slow ourselves down. Because for the longest time, like years, we tried to balance cards and redesign them before adding them to the game. And if you were playing during the alpha, you'll remember like it's like a year plus where there was just Cybertronic and Mishima, and that was it, and Algroth. And because we were spending so much time trying to balance as we went. So a while back, we switched to just kind of eyeball the card, make any changes that we know are going to be broken, that we know aren't going to work, and put it in as is otherwise. And then we can tweak it based on feedback and let you guys, play around with it. Which is sad because we always get some people in Discord that get really angry at a certain card and they're like, why is this card so powerful? And it's like, well, you get a powerful card or you get no cards. You got to pick one. And then you offer feedback on what makes it too powerful, and then we change it. And then, unfortunately, we don't have anyone anymore who is in charge of those changes, so that just falls back on my plate. Well, my plate and your plate as the community, so definitely keep making those suggestions. It helps a little bit when you rage quit and you just say, oh my god, this card is so OP, I hate this game. That helps a little bit. It helps more if you rage quit and you say how OP that card is, and you say, it would be better if you gave +3 instead of +5. Yes, dear. Overpowered. So remember that next time somebody beats you with a heretic deck and you're super angry, before you quit the game, suggest something so that it can, maybe go into the next update and make somebody else not rage quit, which would be nice. I keep drinking this, but there's nothing in it. I just wish I had more coffee.
That's so funny.
Can we do something about OP players? Yes, we can get more players, and then we can turn on more matchmaking algorithms so that newer players don't get matched against OP players as often. We're almost there though. Like we have a nice steady stream of players, and a lot of you guys have been sticking around and constantly playing, which is nice. So thank you. So as long as we keep getting people in matchmaking, one of these days I'm going to add the first algorithm to the matchmaking that will try to prioritize. Basically what happens now is if 2 people are in the lobby, it'll just match you up and you'll play a game. What's going to change is it's going to be a timer every, let's say second. Every second, it will try to find 2 players that are matched together. And then if they can't find anybody, like good players, like 2 rank 1s or 2 rank 20s kind of thing. And if it can't find them, it will flag those players as, okay, I tried, I'll try again in a second. And then a second later, it'll try again. And maybe after 5 seconds of trying or 10 seconds of trying, it'll be like, okay, I'm not getting anybody good, so I'll match these 2 people together. So it'll basically like have a fall off where it'll keep trying to put you in a game with somebody who matches you. But if it can't find someone after so much time, it'll put you in the game that it can find with another player who's been waiting the longest. Not too hard to do code-wise. It's just time, and I don't have a lot of it. He says I've noticed not getting stuck with the same tier 1 players over and over again, which is cool. Yeah, because there's more people playing. Unfortunately, we do get a fair amount of players who play one game, quit, never come back. Like I have seen a handful of those, but that's kind of to be expected with an early access game or a game that people expected magic and they got something completely different and it confused them. So I can't blame them. But now that they're in the system, we can reach out to them when we put the new tutorial in, and we can say, hey, come back, get some free packs, and check out the new tutorial, and maybe they'll like it more. So we'll see.
I'm gonna sneeze again.
She's allergic to me.
I'm allergic to you. Stop it.
Mm-hmm.
Don't say that. Ugh. Guys, I have to start a new job tomorrow. I don't have to. I start a new job tomorrow.
No, you have to.
I guess that is true.
Oh, and I don't think this went live yet. So we've been working on the rules where we have the actual rules in the game, which is nice. So it's a first draft. We'll probably add some images and stuff and like break everything up. But people have been requesting the ability to, read things, because
It's cool. I actually didn't know you were doing this.
when you read things, you'll be able to figure stuff out on your own a little more than the tutorial. So that should be
Very cool.
be helpful. I mean, it's just a wall of text, but it's a step in the right direction,
Right.
which is nice.
It's something.
I'm trying to think. Yeah.
I'm trying to think. Yeah, no. No thinking.
I don't know if it'll make it in this time, but I'm working on revision to the store. So this slot will randomly show different things that cost real money. So there'll be some new emotes, the coffee donation, obviously, and I don't remember what else. But, it'll just cycle in some stuff that people can purchase if they want to purchase randomly.
If you want.
Just small cosmetic stuff for the most part.
Doomtrooper is free to play.
Correct.
And always will be. As long as we're in control.
Oh. Nap time.
Are you taking out?
I mean, we're done. It's noon.
Yeah?
People are extra quiet today. No additional questions, concerns, or requests or rants.
Fair, we don't often get rants in here.
People
don't have to say it to the face. I'm the mean one. Yeah. Cozy one all around. Cozy.
Yeah,
Does it feel like fall in Germany already? Not here, because we get really, really late summers on the west coast of the States, but yeah. It's still very much summer here. But I've seen some people on the east coast of the United States starting to say it's like cooling down.
I had an idea. People love the art for this game. How about you give out downloadable art that can be used for backgrounds or something? You mean like desktop backgrounds or what? Or backgrounds of the game?
Ooh.
Yeah, we've had a lot of requests for game backdrop, like being able to change the backdrop of the game.
Like the board itself?
Yeah, the only reason that we didn't consider that yet is when we add war zones, which were a card type from the classic game, most likely war zones will change the backdrop when you play them. So if we allow people to have custom boards, I was worried that the war zone would conflict with that, but there's no reason we can't have both and the war zone can just override it. It's definitely doable.
Dodo, what province are you in? I don't think I ever knew, actually, what province you're in. Yeah, desktop background. I mean, people could just... This art is everywhere.
I mean, we do have the highest quality versions of the art.
It's the person I think I've ever met from Prince Edward Island. All my friends are from, Alberta or other places. Like British Columbia, but yeah.
I did test, so this is on the Steam page, there's an artwork tab. I did test uploading a really high quality version. Like this is like the highest quality. Well, I have a higher quality version, but this is the highest quality I think Steam would let me upload. So this is like from the scan of the original art.
You can see Paul Bonner's name at the bottom. That's rad.
Yeah, I just kind of wanted to see like if people noticed it. Spoiler, they didn't seem to. You know, there's 1 thumbs up, no comments, no nothing. I was gonna see like if people were like, "Oh my god, where'd you get this artwork?" But on that note, though, we have talked about allowing people to unlock art in the game just as a thing to do, right? So I was thinking of something as simple as we've already cut this art into layers. So what I could do, as you say, let's say as you rank up Cybertronic, this could start out all black and white, and then every couple of levels, one of the layers would be color, and then another layer, and then another layer, and it would get more and more like colorful, which would be cool.
And eventually they could even animate, since you said they're already cut into layers, right?
Yeah. So it'd be cool to like allow people to unlock the layers as they go. Might be kind of interesting. I know the Nintendo 3DS did something like that, where when you crossed another player, it would give you an award, and it would be like a piece of a puzzle. And then as you got all the pieces of the puzzle, you saw like a really cool concept art for a Nintendo game, stuff like that. I think it'd be nice to work something like that in.
Yeah, that's pretty rad. I mean, we could, like I said, we could offer those things, but you can probably just find them online too. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, we have the higher quality stuff. Hopefully, once we release the first version, we're going to do a small Kickstarter for an expansion. I would like to this time do prints. So like maybe even like we do a print of this that's like on canvas and really high quality, but you know, you would have to back like a expensive tier to get that. And then we could do ones on paper that were like a cheaper tier. But the canvas one, if we could figure it out, you'd have to back like, it'd be like a $500 tier, because the print itself would cost us like in the hundreds for a limited edition run and all that. But I would like to experiment. We tried to do that for the first Kickstarter and it just didn't work out. Steve has a really great Dark Legion high quality, high resolution print that he framed on his wall because he did it as a test run, but we just weren't able to get it ready for the Kickstarter. I think it'll be fun to get the really high quality art in a physical format, because a lot of people really love it.
Yeah, Steve's did a couple of really cool things like that. Like the gun that he 3D printed. Yeah.
Oh yeah, we were working.
That was cool too.
We were working on we made a Punisher handgun, like a physical Punisher handgun, and we were going to paint it and put it in a glass case that said like break glass in case of Dark Legion, or in case of Dark Legion outbreak, break glass. And we got started on it, but it just ended up being too much work for us at the time. But that's something that we might do in the future. It'd be pretty neat.
We love black cats. I mean, this is a tuxedo behind us, but we have 2 black cats in addition to the loaf sitting behind us here. And yeah, black cats are cool. Oh, the other cat is, you can't even see him. The black cat's right out of frame over here, and then there he is. He's sitting on top of the gigantic beanbag that we have. This thing fits like 2 people. So I don't know what's going on. The black one has some like medical issues, and this one that's on frame now, the black and white cat, I think you can tell that the black cat is sick because he just is staring at him. I mean, right now, obviously, he's looking at me and Justin, but he just sits there and stares at the black cat until they start crying at each other because they're upset.
Yeah.
It's been weird.
All right, well, I think it's time for me to get some new coffee, take the dog out, and then we're going to, I'm going to be working on some of the quick bug fixes that people have reported on cards, and I'm going to add a couple new cards today, so get ready for the update. I'm trying to get to the point where I can do the update on Monday earlier. I've been putting little things off until Monday night, and then I do them before I push the update. I end up working until like 1 in the morning. So I have to I want to try stopping the sprints on Sunday. The work sprints, if you're not familiar with the term, like the week of work stops on Sunday, and then Monday I basically sit down and just work on pushing the update out. And maybe, you know, I could do like data entry or something, but like I want to stay away from code. Little stressful for me. Oh, look at the baby kitten.
No. The moment you called him baby kitten, he's like, what?
All right, so thank you guys for hanging out. Hopefully I'll see some of you Tuesday or Thursday as we're trying to wrap up the deck builder. And I was hoping that the deck builder would be done the first week of September, but I moved it to the second week of September just to try to be a little more realistic, so that since things keep adding up and breaking and getting reported, and there's a lot of little things on the deck builder like that I'm forgetting about as I'm rebuilding it, like all the drag and drop functionality and making sure everything works and calculating the statistics and all that. So I gave myself an extra week to make sure that that's done, but it should be good. And also, it looks like, unfortunately, due to just me being overloaded, that we're not going to have our community day this month because the code hasn't been written for it yet. So we're going to try doing our first community day next month for Cybertronic. And if enough people complain about missing out on Mishma Community Day, maybe we'll do a bonus one. So. All right.
If you want to help us out, you don't want to spend any money. A review on Steam, like we said, would be super cool. You can also follow us on Twitter at Doomtrooper Game, or wherever else whatever you prefer. We are Doomtrooper Game on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Those are really big since we're such a small company. Little things like that, or retweeting, sharing Facebook posts, all of that stuff is very helpful to us.
Yeah.
And we really appreciate everybody always taking the time to come hang out with us on Sundays and hang out with Justin on Tuesday, Thursday.
If you're new to the stream at all today, just be aware, like on Sundays, we talk like this. We just kind of hang out and try to interface with the community and let them know what we're working on. But on Tuesdays and Thursday nights, it's more of a dev stream. Well, I mean, it is a dev stream. It's 90% me writing code and 10% me ranting about some ridiculous thing because I'm overtired.
Sure, it's more like 80-20.
Okay,
I think
wow.
you have plenty of times where you're like, okay, it's story time.
Yeah, so if you want to hear stories about crazy adventures I've been on, or working in the game studio and how much I sometimes hate Bethesda, definitely tune in Tuesday, Thursdays, and watch me get loopy. So yeah, thanks for hanging out. As always, we have a very empty bit jar down here. You can donate bits. You can subscribe if you have Amazon Prime. You get a free Twitch subscription every month if you're not already aware. So you can donate with your Twitch Prime to us if you feel so inclined.
When are you changing the stream time? Probably not until our fun quarantine stuff is over. It's probably going to stay like that.
Changing?
Yeah.
Should we change it?
No, he can't watch your Tuesday, Thursdays.
Oh.
It's sleepy time for him.
I will say, though, I will guarantee that if you guys support Doomtrooper enough and write the reviews and donate the bits and buy the packs when they come out and tell your friends and like do all that stuff to the point where I someday get to
leave our jobs.
I get to work on this full time. Sorry, she doesn't like to have me do complete thoughts. She likes me to get half and then split it up with an interruption.
Shut up.
If we get to the point where we're lucky enough to work on this full time, then I will be streaming, at least all day, probably twice a week. I'll do all day streams and hang out a lot more. So I can guarantee that if you help us get this game.
Yeah. You're on Eastern time, yeah? I think Prince Edward Island, I think it's all the way on the East Coast.
Now that we got interrupts working with bugs.
Is Atlantic time one time east of Eastern? Oh, it is. Okay, wow, that's crazy. All right, you're the only person I've ever met in that time zone. That's amazing.
Sinspitter, I hope you got that little humor there when I was attempting to read what you were saying live and then got interrupted.
Get excited. Okay, come on. Just roll with it.
No, I know, but
You don't know me by now. I mean...
But Sin and I were making fun of you interrupting, and then in the middle of the making fun of you, you didn't interrupt. All right, well, yeah, I'll be back on Tuesday working on the deck builder, and please follow, subscribe, bits, Twitter, Steam review. Write a Steam review. Tell the world how dedicated and constant improvements we are.
Just write awesome.
Yeah.
Because that works too.
All right, well, yeah, I think I'm just going to end it today. Yeah. So we will see you guys on Tuesday, and
Have a good week.
I'll be on Discord working. Yeah, enjoy the last remaining hours of your weekend. See you guys.